Welcome to the fourth episode of Please Help Me with My Homework channel. The purpose of this channel is to help students who are being forced to read novels and analyze it by their terrible English teacher, Mr. Barrett. And today we will be analyzing Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream by using new historicism. And we're in luck because I managed to book a phone call with Professor Jin from Oxford University. So let's call him now. Hello? Is that you, Professor Jin? Yes, I am the Professor Jin. So, before I start analyzing this play, I would like to quickly go over what new historicism is. Basically, this literary criticism emphasizes on historicity of the text by relating to power and society in a given time, which is in this case the Renaissance. So the first thing that I noticed was how society during this period was depicted in the play. For example, how women were treated. According to Amanda Cloud, the role of women during the medieval and the Renaissance period were just taking care of the house or looking after their children. Compared to men, they were considered inferior and had no rights or authority. So they were controlled by their parents and their husbands. And one perfect example was found in 1.1 when Hermia's father rushes into Theseus's court. He said, "Full of vexation come, I will complain against my child, my daughter Hermia. Stand for Demetrius, my noble lord, this man hath my consent to marry her." He was mad that his daughter Hermia was refusing the arranged marriage and wanted to marry Lysander instead of Demetrius. And also notice how father came into the court and Hermia's mother was not present. This also shows the inequality between man and woman. And another good example was shown in 3.1. Through this scene, it shows how Queen, the fairy queen, fell into the fairy king's trap or his prank. So this infers the idea of man overpowering the woman. The second thing I found was the class hierarchy. At the beginning of 1.2, stage direction said, "Enter Quince the carpenter, the Snug the joiner, and Bottom the weaver, and Flute the billow mender, and Snout the tinker, and Starveling the tailor." They met in the forest to rehearse the play that they were going to perform during the Theseus's wedding. And their job description tells me that they were low-class workers. In 3.1, the same group of people meet again to practice the play, and they were worried how scaring the nobles and the ladies might get them executed. So lower class people often depended on the nobles for work and money. So getting on their bad side was not that good idea, as nobles held most of the power back then, and 3.1 illustrates the fear of the nobles and the idea of peasants working for them. And if you noticed, all of the actors present in this scene were all males, which goes back to my previous idea that no women were, the inequality between the man and woman and the fact that no women were allowed to take part in a play. So all men basically play as a woman. So during Shakespeare's lifetime, Europe was going through the Renaissance, just like how I said in the first. So the Renaissance encouraged great art, inventions, and humanist ideas. So what I saw in the play that reflected on Renaissance influence was the term called Renaissance man. According to Peter, Renaissance man means the person who is expert in wide range of different subjects and area of knowledge and being chivalrous and gentleman. So in 2.2, Oberon said, "And Gentlepuck, take this transformed scalp from off the head of this Athenian swain, that he awaking when the others made all do to Athens back." Let me start again. "And Gentlepuck, take this transformed scalp from off the head of this Athenian swain, that he awaking when the others do may all to Athens back again repair and think no more this night's accident, but as a dream. But first I will release my fairy queen." Basically, after he found out the mistake he made, which ended up in messing up the love relationship between the Athenian youths, Instead of just leaving them alone, he took the responsibility and tried to return back to normal and return his queen back to normal during the process. This shows Oberon is being responsible and chivalrous, which is like an influence from the Renaissance. Yeah, Renaissance man. So, what makes A Midsummer Night's Dream unique from other Shakespeare's play? I think it's the fantasy world of fairies. This clearly shows the cultural influences on his play because according to the editors of Britannica, fairies and other fantasy beings such as dragons, goblins were popular folklore in Europe, and fairy lore was especially prevalent in Ireland, Cornwall, Wales, and Scotland, which is the British Isles. So you can see the cultural influences on fantasy beings on his plays. And lastly, as I was reading through the play in new historicist perspective, I was able to notice something that I found very interesting. Although it might not have been Shakespeare's intention, but I can see a clear similarities between King Henry VIII's decision to leave Catholic Church to get remarried, and Lysander and Hermia's choice to leave Athens to escape from Athenian laws to get married. Well, what do you think, students? Well, thank you, Professor Jin, for such a clear explanation. I'm sure that your explanation has helped a lot of students with their homework. Well, thank you. See you next time. Well, that is for today's episode, and see you next time. Goodbye.